is an application that the CBSA has developed to provide every traveler that comes into Canada an easier access to submit their declaration. Back in the days, we have a little card and we used to fill it up by hand. So that's out the door now. So we give any travelers, and it's optional. You don't have to do it, but it's optional. But by using it, you would save a lot of time at the airport, at the customs there. So usually, so the way it works is it is voluntary. It's not mandatory, as I mentioned. You can submit your application 72 hours before coming into Canada, and you can do it anywhere in the world. So it doesn't matter if you're at the beach, in your living room, in the bathroom, at the airport. It doesn't matter. You can just answer all the questions that the customs officer would normally ask you at the airport, and then once you're comfortable with all your answers, you can submit your application, and you can do that up to 72 hours before coming into Canada. And we have lots of airports, but our 10 major airports in Canada would accept your application. So, and I'll show you how it works later on there. So, and once you submitted your application, you always have an option to modify it. So once you get to the airport and say, oh my God, I stopped at duty free and I bought this, and I forgot to put this in my declaration. Once you're going to get to the kiosk at the airport, you can always modify and edit your application to make it the real scenario, I guess, or make sure that your declaration is accurate. So the way it works is I got a little graph here showing you the whole process. So number one is you submit your application up to 72 hours before coming into Canada, as I mentioned. So that information will be submitted into a cloud, a CBSA cloud, and that information will stay there up to 72 hours. So if you come after the 72 hours, that information will be deleted because we don't read that information. That information is only accessible when you go to the kiosk. So you're going to be flying into Halifax. So Halifax, they don't have e-gate, so they only have the kiosk. So it's a machine like this there, similar to this. So once you get to the kiosk, you scan your passport. We're going to take a picture of you, and then we're going to go back in the cloud and we're going to retrieve the information that you submitted. So then we're going to present that information to you, and then the information that will be presented, you'll have an option to edit it or accept it. So once it's accepted, the kiosk will print you a receipt and based on all the answers that you've put, and then you're going to bring that to the customs officer that will be seeing you. Customs officer will look at it, and he's going to either send you to secondary for more inspection, or he's going to say, okay, you can go get your luggage and get out. So that's that process right now takes about 90 seconds. Now, that's if you don't use the advance declaration. But when you use the advance declaration, it takes about 35 to 40 seconds. So you save half the time. So I know it's only 45 seconds that you're saving, but when there's a lot of people in the customs hall, we're looking at many, many minutes that we're saving, and it allows you to get out of customs a lot quicker. So you present so it's pretty easy. You present your passport, take a picture, and then we retrieve the information, and then you follow the process. So that's basically what it is. So it's faster. You save about 40 to 50% time if you do your advance declaration, which is really beneficial for the travelers. And the nice thing too is that you can complete because I know a lot of people are stressed when they go to customs. So when you go to customs, you can do it wherever you want, 72 hours before you submit it. You arrive, then you can do it at your leisure, wherever you want. It's more relaxed. You're not stressed. So it makes it a lot easier for the travelers to come in. Again, like I said, you can also edit your declaration to make sure that it's accurate. And that's it, roughly, and you can be used in the 10 airport, but in your case here, it's only good for Halifax because that's where you're going to be coming in. So this is the way it's going to look in Halifax. So you're going to see that a lot of those boards there. There's signs there, so all to save time. You'll see it's green, lime green. There's a QR code. You can scan it, and then I'll give you access to the application. However, what you do if you have a Samsung or an Apple iPhone, you can go to the Apple Store and you can download the ArriveCan application, It's Arrive Can. It's RIVECAN, can. Download the application and you'll have access to the advance declaration. So you'll see again that sign there. So that's the lineup that you have to make to go to the kiosk. That's the way the kiosk looks when you get to Halifax. So there's so you just take a picture, scan your passport, and that's it. Your declaration will be populated on the screen. So it's you see it's pretty easy, and it makes your travel a lot easier. And then again, if you have any issues, there's always people at the airport. We call them CSR, which it's a client service relation. And if you have any questions, they can help you with anything. They're not answer the questions for you, but they're going to help you using the kiosk. The other nice thing is we have the kiosk. Uh, so if you're more comfortable in Vietnamese, Chinese, or Dutch, or whatever language, you, there's 19 of them. So hopefully one of them will be the one that's your mother tongue, and you'll feel more comfortable answering the questions.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you. So now we're moving to the presentation focused on your arrival and transition for fall 2025. So you may already be familiar with some of the information that I'm about to cover, but I hope this presentation will give you a chance to double check your arrival plans and make sure everything is in order. So if any of these details are new to you though, well, that's great. There's still time to get everything organized and ready for your arrival this fall. And at the end of the presentation, we'll also have a Q&A session. So please feel free to have your questions ready, but after the presentation. So before we begin, we'll take a couple of minutes to read and reflect on the land acknowledgement of Newfoundland and Labrador. So this is an important moment to recognize Indigenous peoples and communities who have lived on and cared for this land for generations. Okay, I'll just give you 10 seconds here and then move on. All right, I would like to start by highlighting one of the biggest differences for this semester's arrival. It's the 2025 Canada Games, so which will be held right here in St. John's. So this means as part of the Canada Games, Memorial University will be welcoming over 4,800 athletes, coaches, and managers to campus between August 8th and 25th. With so many visitors in the city, accommodations and travel options may be more limited and more expensive during that time. So, and because of the games, the fall semester this year begins on September 9th instead of the first week of September. And it makes it especially important to have your accommodations ready before you arrive. Please note there is no temporary accommodation on campus. There's no exception, please. And trying to find a place last minute could be extremely costly. So if your schedule allows, you may find it easier and more affordable to plan your arrival after August 25th, or even later once the games have concluded and the city is less busy. Well, that being said, if you're a big sports fan, you can come early and enjoy the festival with all the Canadians. So anyways, please make sure you know exactly where you are going to stay when you land in St. John's. It doesn't matter temporary or permanent, you just need a place to stay when you arrive. So, and I'm going to come back to the airport part later when we talk about airport greeter program and the new student pure sports program. And we're going to move on to the next slide. So to get settled in St. John's and make the most of your time here, there are a few important things you need to take care of first. So I've gathered a list of key items to help you get started here. But please keep in mind, this isn't a complete checklist, of course. Everyone's situation is different, and there may be other steps depending on your needs. In the next few slides, though, I'll walk you through some of the main areas where you can get support with these items and how you can get access to resources available to you. So this is just an example. So first of all, I'm sure you've heard about this iCenter quite a few times by now, and I hope all of you have already joined. This app is important because it's where I'll be sharing all the helpful updates and information throughout the arrival period. It's a quick and flexible way to keep you informed. For this semester, I want to check this fall 2025 arrival menu in the app regularly. That's where you'll find the latest updates, reminders, and other good opportunities you don't want to miss. So one other thing that I like to ask you is that to keep your arrivals form information up to date, especially if your travel or housing plans change. And knowing when and how you are arriving helps us plan the best ways to support you. For example, we can send airport greeters to the airport if we don't know anyone is arriving at the same time, right? So with this, essential information will also be shared through our website for new international students. So don't forget to check there for upsides as well. So next resource I would like to introduce is a news arrival checklist and the International Student Handbook, both available on the iCenter app and or our website. So from my experience, about 80% of the questions I receive from new students are quite similar. So I gathered many of the answers in these two resources. For example, you'll find helpful links to things like major banks, mobile phone providers, Metrobus passes, campus cars, and more, all in one place. So you can think of it as a one-stop shop for useful links, so you don't have to go searching on your own. So rather than going through each item in this presentation, I'll let you to take a look on your own. And if you have any questions afterward, or if you notice anything missing, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you. And your feedback will also help improve these resources later for future students. Still, there are some important things I'd like to emphasize in this session. The first one is early health insurance. So as you may already know, health insurance is mandatory for all registered international students. When you register for your courses, you are automatically enrolled in the foreign health insurance plan called GuardMe as well, and the fee will be added to your student account. However, it is important to note that this coverage only begins on September 1st to December 31st. So if you're arriving after September 1st, it's all good. But if you're arriving before September 1st, and if you want to be covered for your entire time in Canada, you will need to purchase early health insurance separately. Healthcare in Canada can be very expensive, you may all know. And while I hope you don't need to visit a hospital, it is always better to be prepared, right? So you can purchase early coverage through GuardMe website directly or through the iCenter app here. Just to click early arrivals when you go there and then select apply for insurance. So you don't need a policy number to apply for early health insurance, and the cost is about $2 per day per person. So regarding this, we'll be hosting a health insurance information session on August 7th, and I strongly encourage you to attend to learn more and make sure that you are fully prepared. Now, let's talk about the actual arrival part, starting with the St. John's Airport. So St. John's Airport is an international airport, but it's quite small and simple, which makes it easy to navigate. One thing I really appreciate about it is that it's only about 6 kilometers from the MUN campus, and it takes just 10 minutes by car to get there. So because of that, by far the most common way to get from the airport to campus is by taxi or Uber. A lot of local people use taxi or Uber. There is metro bus actually route that connects the airport and the campus. But after a long flight, and especially with lots of luggage that you're going to bring, you may be a little tired to take the bus. And if you're thinking of using Uber, which is usually a bit cheaper than a taxi, I've included a step-by-step guide in the iSent app with all the photos to help you get familiar with airport layout and how to find your way. So please check it out if you're interested. Okay, like here. All the photos will be there, like here. And if you're arriving during the first week of September or possibly at the end of August, we'll have airport greeters at the St. John's Airport to welcome you. These greeters are student employees who will be there to say hello to you, answer questions about St. John's and Memorial University, and help you find transportation to your accommodation. The greeting schedule will be based on your arrival details submitted through iSent app's arrival form. So please make sure the form is completed and kept up to date. This helps us know when you're arriving, and that allows us to plan accordingly. For example, again, like I said, we can send greeters if we don't know anyone is arriving at a certain time. So just a quick note though, our airport greeters will not cover the cost of your taxi or accommodation. Their role is to welcome you and assist you and then help you get the transportation. So please expect to pay around Canadian dollars to $30 or $50 for your taxi fare, depending on where you're going, obviously. And if you have any questions about airport greeting schedules or special requests, please contact me by emailing arrivals@mon.ca. And now I'm very excited to introduce you our brand new student peer support program. This is different from our traditional airport program that I just talked to you about. It is more comprehensive support system designed especially for you for this semester. So we are now currently recruiting peer supporters among students here, and they will be able to provide you pre-arrival guidance online, one-on-one personal guidance, and greet you personally at the airport and accompany you to your accommodation. They're going to go to your accommodation together and make sure you get there. And then after you arrive, they are going to lead community tours for you. So they're going to show around the town, and hopefully you can form a good lasting friendships along the way. So if you'd like to participate in this program and be connected with your peer supporter, please apply through a link in the iSent app. It's not available yet, but it'll be available soon, like from tomorrow, in the fall 2025 arrival menu. But spots are limited because we can only hire so many peer supporters. So if you're interested in connecting with your arrival peer supporter, please, I encourage you to apply early from tomorrow. So the last but not least, I'm excited to introduce our CN and MCP clinics as well, hosted right here at the Internationalization Office. So what is this? So it is representatives from Service Canada and Department of Health and Community Services of Government of Newfoundland and Labrador. They will be on campus in our office to help you apply your social insurance number, SIN, and medical care plan, MCP. So they are going to help you with applying all these things and then answer your questions. So all you need to do is to visit our office on one of the following days here, August 28th or September 5th and 8th, from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And this is very important. You need to bring the required documents with you. You will be able to find the full details on what to bring on the iSent app on our website. But this is very important. You must bring the required documents. For SIN application, you need to bring original documents. For MCP applications, you need to bring physical photocopies. not the soft photocopies. No, you have to bring the physical photocopies. So we don't have printing or photocopying services on site on our website, unfortunately. So please come prepared. This helps everything run smoothly for you and other students. So along with this, though, we're also expecting representatives from TD Bank and CRA, Canada Revenue Agency, and along with our immigration advising team on site to connect with you. That means you can ask all the immigration questions while you're here, like personally, while you're waiting to get your application to be processed. So you'll be able to, in a nutshell, open a bank account on the spot with TD Bank if you're interested in TD Bank. Ask questions about your tax account. If you're going to be working, you are going to be able to. You are going to have to pay tax. So you can ask the questions and connect with the immigration advisors for personalized advice on your status and future plans. That brings us to the end of today's presentation. Thank you so much for being here and for your attention. I know this is a lot of information, but I hope it's helped you feel more prepared and supported as you get ready for your arrival in St. John's. And we want to say we're truly excited to welcome you to Memorial University in Newfoundland and Labrador. You are alone in this journey, as we always say, and our team is here to support you. So now we will move on to the Q&A session and stop the recording. If you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat box as you did. I'll do my best to answer as many as possible for you.